let me tell you something else that's changed. Let me start with this. Cut 5 here. Here are the new talking points for the media on Antifa. Listen to this.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa.
Like, I don't even know what Antifa is. There is no group.
It's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. it is in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's a moniker. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys are.
Things like Antifa are things that are thought up.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization called Antifa.
Nobody's a member of Antifa because it doesn't exist. They are just declaring into existence something that doesn't exist.
There is no Antifa organization, so maybe that's good for social media, but it really is non-existent.
They exist on the internet in chat rooms and in 4chan and Discord and places like that, where they run discussion boards, trade tactics, documents, things like that. But none of them are called Antifa.
What? I don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, you want to talk about living in a different world? But that's what's going around. Now, let me just tell you this. Last week, I did a TV show that apparently got the FBI's attention. The topic was initial investigation, a jumping off point, shattering the myth that Antifa just, it's just leaderless and decentralized. We thought, no, it's really not. So we dove in headfirst and we analyzed the Antifa network, and we went from the street thugs to the support groups, eventually to the funding. Okay. To say the FBI was interested in this might be an understatement. Let's just say the FBI is turning over every single stone. It is so clear to me that they are exploring all angles of this, and they are talking to anyone and everyone that can give them any kind of information. How do I know? Saturday, I get a phone call. The director would like to send over some agents to speak to you, Glenn. And I'm like, the FBI agents? Yes, you said some things that they need to talk to you about. And I'm like, well, good things or bad things? They'll be over. So they sat in my living room. 3 agents sat in my living room on Saturday afternoon for almost 2 hours. And I immediately called Jason. I'm like, Jason, you're the researcher. It's your fault. I'm going to throw you under the bus. You better get your butt over here. So Jason was there, and my wife and Jason and I sat there, and it was surreal at one point. I talked to him for about 15 minutes, just going over the Tides Foundation and saying, if you understand Tides, you'll understand how difficult your job is going to be. And this is information that I first gave on Fox years ago. Let me just say this. Finally, we have an administration and an FBI director that is willing to go in deep. Not surface, but deep. I can only imagine what we could have avoided if anyone in an administration would have done this in 2011. But if I were in that imaginary group of Antifa, which, by the way, has imaginary leaders leaving the country to go maybe to imaginary countries outside of the U.S. right now, I would be very concerned. If I were part of anything that was sending money their way or assistance their way, I don't know. I might be a little concerned because the FBI is dead ass serious. Thank you, Donald Trump, Kash Patel, and all of the agents at the FBI. Stu and I were just talking about how Antifa doesn't exist. And, that's like saying, honestly, it's like saying Al-Qaeda doesn't exist. Well, you're right. There is no, 501 Broadway, where you go to Al-Qaeda's office. That doesn't happen. But it does exist, and it's an ideology. And while they may not They may not take their direction from the same person at the office. I don't know. There's no HR, so they don't exist. They exist. They exist. Mm-hmm. And they're loosely affiliated. And sometimes they are getting money, And for the press and everybody else to say, when you're watching them all over the country, and they're doing exactly the same thing, same tactics, everywhere, to say they don't exist is just infantile.
Yeah, it's like I don't know the word. There should be a word for this if there isn't, but it is a real point used in an intentionally dumb way to mislead. Is that malinformation?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Because it really is there's a real point there that they are disengaged from a centralized thing. This makes them more dangerous. It's how you had to deal with terrorist cells back in the day. However, they're using it in a way to make it seem like it's not a threat, which is not accurate. And they know it's not accurate, and they're trying to mislead people with a piece of true information.
Why would you try to brush Antifa under the rug? I mean, it's just perplexing.